Hello and welcome everyone to my Let's Play Tomb Raider 3, The Adventures of Lara Croft. This is guys 115. And yeah, no time for introductions yet again. This should be very familiar for those of you who've played Tomb Raider 2 and the Golden Mask expansion. This is just like the beginning of the Furnace of the Gods. We end up sliding down, dropping on top of slippery platforms. If your reaction is fast enough, you get to pick up these shotgun shells. However, if you do not possess a shotgun yet, you will get a shotgun here. Kind of an evil, missable place to place it, really. Oh well. Anyways, let me welcome you to Aldwych. This is a old, abandoned metro station. To be honest, I have absolutely no idea how the hell Lara got from top of St. Paul's Cathedral into this metro station, but there you have it. How did she even know she's supposed to go here? All these things, we've just learned that, you know, Sophia Lay hired mercenaries to kill her. She thinks dropping down here will lead her to her? Ironically, yes, although plot-wise it doesn't make much sense to me. Anyway, this level is probably going to be the biggest level of Tomb Raider 3 so far, even bigger than the Temple Ruins. We will find 59 items, kill 29 enemies, and find 5 secrets. So it is pretty much the items that will be most plentiful here, and this level is... I have very mixed feelings about it. I absolutely love the design and atmosphere of the level, and it feels more like playing some sort of adventure game. There are, I think, 7 different key items you just have to find here in order to continue. It feels like kind of a point-and-click adventure game. We will backtrack a lot, try different things, have to find key items, and oh my god. Our first enemy, whew, that was a close call. He started swinging that club, is a... how would we even call these guys? Yeah, some kind of... I'm gonna refer to these guys as hoodlums because they have hoodies. I guess that makes kind of sense. These are kind of a gang members. It says The Damned on their jacket. As, you know, on closer inspection, we know by now that humans in Tomb Raider games look kind of weird, but this is a different kind of weird. They are green. Their mouths are covered, their faces are kind of visible. Their faces and hands are green with little bloody textures on them. Now, this is no coincidence. Something happened to these guys and they are kind of slowly rotting away. It's really horrible when you think about it. But yeah, we'll learn more about these guys later on. What we need to know is that they are hostile, not friendly, and therefore you should not feel bad about killing them. Actually, we are really putting them out of their misery which will be revealed later on. So for now on, yeah, make a note that he drops a small health pack, and actually this level will be insanely small health pack generous. There'll be 12 of them here, and most of these will be dropped from these gang members. But yeah, of course, I could just, you know, play through the level as swiftly as possible, or I could, you know, take my time and explain what is it we are trying to achieve here, which I think is important since this is kind of an adventure-ish level with a lot of backtracking and objectives to complete. So yeah, for the first time around, this will lead to some frustration, but playing it, you know, on multiple times, it is an incredible joy to play through. First of all, we need to infiltrate this ticket booth. Now, there is an unbreakable bulletproof glass there to keep some rowdy crowds away, no doubt. And the door is locked, as you might have imagined. Now, if you're a bit more observant, and especially if you've already played Area 51 level, we haven't been to Area 52, you might have noticed this ventilation grate. This is actually breakable. Just like the second secret in Area 51, this one can be shot as well. Just feel free to use your pistols if you are using them. We are not. So I had to waste a bullet there. But yeah. By using this ladder, we will get above the ticket office and we'll manage to drop down. But in order to do that, we'll need to do something that is really rather, perhaps, counterintuitive. You may be thinking, oh my god, I'm discovering a secret. Well, no. Yeah, there is a block that we need to push here. If you take a look here, we find ourselves exactly above the ticket office booths. What we need is, we need to push this block here to extend the ladder. Yeah, it serves as a ladder extension, so we can go all the way up. So let's do just that. We'll actually see what's on the other side of that block as well, so patience, my friends. Thankfully, this area above the ticket office is really rather generous. There are a couple of goodies to pick up here. Let's see. There we go. So once again, 59 objects in this level. It is quite a bit of a challenge for me to keep track of all of them. I will of course not upload anything unless I've rewatched whatever it is I've recorded and counted the appropriate number of objects, since the game doesn't seem to do that. And Uzi clips, yes, Uzis is actually going to be a weapon we will find at this level, so definitely keep a lookout on them. And yeah, so from this range, the hoodlum all the way over there is not really bothered too much with us. You can now check the range of the weapons. You can see that MP5 will reach, however Desert Eagle, for example, even though it has great range, will not. But yeah, I think for the moment we are fine with using shotgun. It takes 2 shotgun blasts to bring these guys down. Yeah, and as you might have noticed, as opposed to the very first hoodlum, this one has, you know, the same spiked club. However, this one is not set on fire. There should be 18 of these guys, and 6 of them have fiery clubs, whereas the others just have the ordinary ones. You will take very minor damage if they hit you. They're really not at all dangerous, but those with fire clubs can set Lara on fire on about a 3rd or sometimes even 2nd hit, so be very careful about that. I will show you more efficient means of elimination for those guys. Anyway, by using the 2nd hole in the ceiling, we have now managed to get here. We can grab this ladder extension we've created and get all the way up. This will take us to the ticket office, where we'll find our first key item. Yeah, what I like about this level is that, you know, it's one of the most difficult levels, and not because of combat or traps, but because of the exploration. And there we are behind that block. I suggest you not push it all the way there, because in case you fall down and not pick up the maintenance key from the ticket booth over here, you will not be able to continue, so let's just leave it there in case we need to retrace our steps here for whatever reason. But yeah, here is the key item. It is called maintenance key. Don't be too much puzzled with it. We will use it very soon enough to open, well, what I will refer to as the maintenance room. And a large health pack in case any of the employees will get injured. But yeah, we now can, with the press of a button, find ourselves back in the ticket office. We don't have to climb all the way up or anything like that, so it's a nice handy shortcut. And the corpse of the thug member over there marks the direction from which we arrived. Yeah, there is of course another door over there. This will once again serve as a backtracking tunnel all the way over here from more advanced stage of the level. What we are facing right now is either the escalators to the left station or escalators to the right station. I think for all intents and purposes it is much more reasonable to go to the right one first. But yeah, make a note of the posters over here. I mean, look at this creepy stuff, okay? So there is one that looks like panorama of some city, metropolis, you know, looks more New Yorkish than London, but whatever. Then what seems to be some gentleman in a fedora driving a fast car, a vintage car. And then there's this. I'm not sure if it's probably a human with a soldier helmet. It looks like some Nazi soldier glaring at you or something. It's really creepy. Or perhaps some kind of cartoonish mole peeking from his mound of dirt. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. It says he's watching you. If any one of you know what this is supposed to be a reference to, I'd be very grateful if you could explain this. I have no idea if this makes sense in some London English context. The Aldwych metro station was closed off in 1994, actually. So, you know, relatively recently, in 1990s. So this should be from that era. It should not be, you know, anything too old, like the vintage car over there. I really have no idea what that is supposed to be, but suffice to say, it used to creep me out a lot when I was younger, as you might imagine. Anyway, let's make our way here first. There's something I'd like to show you. There is a patrolling hoodlum and his trusty dog. Now, I would like Lara to dispatch the hoodlum first. Please, Lara. Thank you very much. And then let's dispatch the dog. And if you time this just right, you will bring the ManGBs down with just one shotgun blast. But for this, they need to be very close to you, so it can be pretty tricky to time. And actually it is a great fun in this level, you know, to try to bring all dogs, mind you there will be 6 of them, down with just one shotgun blast. It's so adrenaline pumping action, you know, not to waste a single shot, and press that action key at the very last moment. But yeah, closer inspection of the poor dogs, they are the same kind of model like in Area 51, the German Shepherds. However, these guys are rotten. You can see their ribs poking out, their eye sockets are empty, yet they seem to have some kind of glint inside. Their mouth is all bloody. I mean, we are doing them a favor by killing them. These are, as we'll learn later, kind of discarded scientific experiments, both people and dogs alike. It's really horrible, and yeah, we are at least putting them out of their pain. Now, first of all, this place gets overwhelming really quick. This level is of course a huge maze with many areas looking almost identical across it. Let's make a note of the ceiling. Those more observant of you will notice several features in there. We will actually be up there at some later stage in the level. Also, there is a tunnel leading down, which is not a trap. We will need to explore this in order to continue. Now, there is also a ramp leaving up from here, in the very last intersection over here, where there is a locked door and a magnificent view of a train. If you notice, the train was actually bigger than the tunnel. It wouldn't fit in, it sort of just clipped through it. Yeah, and we get a door leading to what is almost the level exit, okay? We'll be using this tunnel to backtrack for our final secret later on, so I just wanted you to familiarize yourself with this particular spot in the level, because it will hold significance later on, so when we do find ourselves here with a purpose, you'll know where we are and, you know, should eliminate some of the confusion. Now, what I want to show you are these tunnels. Now, there's a red light over there, which kind of means do not go here. I am totally and utterly dangerous. If you notice this strange special tile over here, this marks the spot after which you will trigger an incoming metro train, and it will hit Lara and kill her off in a spectacular fashion. You know, I'm trying not to die in these levels, but I'm kind of hoping we will die being hit by a metro train, because I don't think there is another Tomb Raider game where we will be able to claim we got hit by an underground train. Yeah, and these are spread all across the level. Now, there is also this interesting thing. I'm not sure what this is. I cannot read the inscription. It seems like some sort of vending machine, but instead of having goodies displayed inside, it has two little men with clocks instead of their heads, and some kind of hats on top of those heads. Yeah, so these clockmen. This object really holds no real significance other than the tile right ahead of it. As you can see, there is really nothing on that tile, okay? Well, no, you are wrong. There is actually something on the floor over there. We just need to turn the lights on and take a better look. Also, mind you, there is yet another tunnel, once again marked by the same kind of tile. Once you cross that, we will trigger the appearance of a train. But don't worry, we'll have more encounters with the trains as we go further. Now, first of all, yeah, let's think about turning the lights on in this entire metro station. For that, we will now get into the maintenance room. Okay. And yeah, here we are. Really unremarkable room. And it is really quite dark, especially on PS1 version. But that is a good thing, because it shows to symbolize what difference turning on the lights will make. So let me show you. There we go. I love the flickering effect. So now the lights across the metro station are lit up. It's all so much brighter. I love this, absolutely. Yeah, the lights on the ceiling as well. And now, if we take a closer look at the strange machine over here, we will see there is something on the floor. This, my friends, even though perhaps a bit oversized for what it's supposed to be, is an old penny. Wow, what an amazing treasure. Yeah, so I really have no idea if this is a vending machine and we didn't just turn on the lights, but we turned on some generator which powers this thing up and it just coughed up and spewed the coin, or if the coin was on the floor here all along and Lara just noticed now that the lights are on, since, you know, pennies are kind of dark, copper-ish. I really have no idea what exactly, which of these explanations it's supposed to be. Nevertheless, both tunnels are a death trap, and the door up on that ramp is locked, so where do we go from here? I don't really think we can return there. So the only way is down. yes, I guess that is a hint, because we actually have to continue through one of these tunnels. Now notice the green light, it just turned red when we approach, yeah? So by default, I guess they are all green, but some of them turn red. Once again, a tile, a special one, marks the unsafe spot. Now, so let's check the other direction. Interestingly enough, the color on that side is kind of aquamarine, green, bluish. It's different. It's not green, it's not red either, it's something in between. The reason is we have to continue through this tunnel, and yes, there is the train. Oh my god, that was so close! And there is an enemy here. Do not kill him straight ahead, if you are interested in all the kills. Okay, let me just compose myself. As I was trying to say, once you do enter this tunnel, you can shoot this guy straight away with, let's say, for example, Desert Eagle like I did. If you care about all the kills, don't do that just yet, because if he just passes over here, he will summon the other hoodlum, okay? So if you're interested in all the kills, have a bit of a patience and let both of them gang up on you instead. A bit more dangerous, but yeah, there you have it. Otherwise, the second gang member will not spawn. So, yeah, I was talking about close encounter with trains. There will be yet another one, and... wow, this was really close. I stopped for a while, you know, trying to give you a better look on the train, and I really wasn't sure what will happen. Oh my god, this is amazing. I'm so glad I have this recorded. Now, in the curiously glowing corner over here, depending on which version of the game you're playing, we get a health crystal. Now, what we see over there, it's not a corpse, even though it looks and smells like one. It is actually a sleeping dog. The same kind of poor mangy mongrel like we've seen on the train station. Now, we can, of course, kill him with Desert Eagle, but considering we can kill a hoodlum with one Desert Eagle shot, whereas it takes 2 shotgun blasts to kill them, I would save these for the hoodlums instead. Dogs we can tackle with a shotgun, but they need to be just close enough. And I don't think from up here would count as close enough. I need to drop down and time this just right. Look at him, how he's howling. He's actually really cute right now. Oh my god! I did not see what just happened, but it seems we did manage to get hit. Lara, you might want to get some kind of disinfectant. I don't know what diseases that creature was carrying. Either way, you know, I'm happy taking that bit of damage to, you know, avoid having to take another shot with our precious shotgun. As you can see, we are permanently on low ammunition with that thing, because I'm having just way too much fun with it. And that's good. That's what the ammunition is here for in this game. And yes, this kind of awkward tile is not a secret. In fact, we still haven't found a single secret, have we? No. It takes a while before you encounter the first one. No need to panic if you haven't found it in a long while. But yeah, you can of course take multiple pathways through this level as well, so it really depends. Anyway, here they are, the beauties. I don't think they looked this great in Tomb Raider 2, but then again, we've seen these things in Nevada, so it's not really a new weapon. You know how they behave, what they sound like, how quickly they expend the ammunition. But from here and now on, I believe we have all the weapons actually. Let me see, the pistols, the shotgun, the Desert Eagle, the Uzis, the MP5, the rocket launcher, the grenade launcher, and the harpoon. Now, yeah, 1 on the hotkeys is for pistols, 2 is for shotgun, 3 for Desert Eagle, 4 for Uzis, however 6 for MP5, 7 for harpoon, okay? 8 for grenade launcher, and 9 for rocket launcher. Or not. It seems I have just pressed 9 and used a... Oh my god, I didn't. I have used a small health pack, haven't I? I have used a large health pack? You have got to be kidding me. No way. Okay, so do not press 9. Oh dear god. This is so gonna mess up our statistics. Okay, let's just pretend we got set on fire by one of the hoodlums or something. Oh dear god. Okay, so be careful about pressing 9, pretty please, and... why isn't the hotkey at least for a small health pack? Why the big one straight away? I truly have no idea. Now, down below there is a button we can press that is purely optional. I will press it a bit later on. For now, let's just keep to here. As you can see, that tunnel over there is empty, yeah? However, now that you drop down here, a hoodlum will spawn, carrying a small health pack. Lara, what did I tell you about using pistols? We do not use the pistols, okay? So just put them away. Yeah, whenever you run out of ammunition on something, Lara will actually switch onto pistols. So if you try to press control over here, she will just press the pistols. And I was holding the action key because I was trying to climb up. So technically we failed our no pistols challenge. What the hell? No, I do not even consider this as a failure. This was just a bit of an accident. Lara misbehaving, that sort of thing. Anyway, let's monkey swing across here. And behind the what was supposed to be iron fence, but due to some dynamic lighting error, it is actually purple. Just like the chains on the crane in the Thames Wharf level, if you remember. On our way to the very first secret at the beginning of the level. I think we can make this... Yes, angle jump over here. Saves us a bit of time. There is a hidden rocket over here. Okay. Ah, just barely. Okay, so... There we go. Oh dear God. Now, if you are not as careful about saving the game as I am, do save here. I implore you. As for me, I will... There's only one go I have at this. Once we start sliding down, this will be a huge gauntlet full of falling damage, enormous falling damage, very easy to break Lara's neck, and also the mining drill up top will try to shred us to pieces, so whatever I'll be doing, I do not have much time for it. I will do my best to grab the first secret of the level, because it is tied to this gauntlet. Okay, now shimmy to the right immediately, and then roll down once you're down. Okay, feel free to drop, and now grab, drop, re-grab, drop, re-grab, drop, re-grab, and there we have our health crystal. If you did take some minor falling damage, this should, you know, set you up. Our reward are also MP5 clips. Now we can watch the drill. No? Okay, where are you? Where did you stop? Oh my God, all the way up there? This is strange. I was supposed to go lower. Anyway, we can of course check the very bottom of this dark, dirty pit. But yeah, there really is nothing here other than a large health bag on the ramp here. So if you would not discover that first secret, you know, if you wouldn't know exactly what to grab and drop and re-grab, etc., you would end up here with a large health bag. It's, I guess, the level's way of apologizing. I'm sorry for being such a dick to you. And this is a ramp leading to the secret. Unfortunately, it is a bit too high for us to reach by any legitimate means. You might be thinking, okay, there's a tile opposite. We might be able to just maybe... Lara, please drop the flare to just make a running jump. Unfortunately, the low ceiling is also preventing you. So this was really the only way of reaching that first secret of the level. It's really evil. This is one of those things, if you do not know in advance, you will never gonna reach. And I don't like that kind of design. Anyways, yeah, there's the mining drill. Our objective actually will be getting on top of the mining drill, because the mining drill itself actually created a platform for us to walk over and reach a very important key item. Now mind you, when climbing down from here, this is just a little... Well, it's not a bug, it's just a bad level design I've learned about in Stella's Tomb Raider walkthroughs. Make sure to, at any point, just step on this tile over here, because this tile, even though it looks unremarkable, is actually a trigger point to set the mining drill into just correct enough position for us to later on be able to cross it. If you, let's say, climb over here, you know, and miss this tile and continue, and eventually you won't be able to return here ever again, you will be unable to finish the level. Yeah, so be very careful. Just make sure whatever you do to step on this tile, and the mining drill should find itself in a correct position. I wish, you know, the mining drill would stop in a correct position when it started chasing us, but somehow well, it wasn't perfectly designed, it didn't, and the tile makes sure it will be in the correct position. But, you know, as is often the case, the developers are not mind readers, they do not know exactly how the player is going to behave. So that's the real challenge. Anyways, yeah, another health crystal, and up we go. My God, I still can't believe Lara shot those pistols and used the large health bag. Jesus Christ. Well, it doesn't change, you know, anything about the no pistols challenge. We are still using pistols for all intents and purposes. That was just a random shot. Now, mind you, just like I explained in Mandubu Gorge, the fires, you know, do not cover the entire tile. If they would, we would have a very big problem. Oh dear God. Talking about big problems, might as well press 9 now. Yes, let's douse ourselves in this piece of water over here. I was about to make a jump onto the platform opposite of us, because that should switch on the fires. I have failed spectacularly. Let me try this again. So, I think that brought us down to 2 health packs used. Oh my goodness gracious. Good thing I remembered that little tile with water. What I was trying to do before I failed miserably, the problem is the fires are triggered at different times. So, if they desynchronize themselves in a just enough evil rhythm, you might have to wait for quite a while before they before they reach a rhythm when you can jump here and not get caught on fire on this one over here, yeah? However, once you do reach this place, they will not unleash fire again, they will shut off. After, of course, finishing the blast that was already active. So, if you do get set on fire, just like I did, make sure to drop into that tile of dirty water, which actually looks like an oil, not water. We should burn even more after dropping there, but there you have it. Okay, so far we are doing very poorly. I have used 2 large health packs. One of them by accident, the other one by accidentally getting set on fire. This is really, really not good. Oh my god. Okay. And the backflip, as you can see, the camera makes it very obvious there is a ledge behind us. So let's press a button. And this should hopefully look familiar. This is a trapdoor in the red crates room. Now, we are of course gonna get there yet again. This is kind of part of the backtracking I mentioned for this level, one of my biggest complaints. Nevertheless, what we see here is a couple of Uzi clips. Now, we will not have enough time to pick them up and, you know, make it out of the fire. At least I don't think so. Instead, enter via a crawl. Now, you cannot do that whilst Lara is holding it in a ladder position. So just let go and re-grab instantly and keep holding that crawl button, keep holding it, and Lara will enter via crawl. I think this is the first instance in the game where actually crawl climbing became useful, not just a short time convenience. So yeah, make a note of that. And we can use all the Uzi ammunition we can. And actually, yeah, we might as well use them on an enemy that lurks in this very area. Now, first of all, this might look familiar. We have looked up here before from down there. This leads to the first train station we've encountered. We've been looking up here. Now, in the very far corner over here is a box of shotgun shells and a large health pack. Okay, now this should be guarded by a rat. However, the rat does not trigger unless you pass under this specific spot. Now, we will find ourselves here later on in the level dropping from that beige tunnel over there. But yeah, once you step on this tile, the rat is spawned, and I think it takes 4 bullets to bring it down. There we go. So yeah, I guess that's kind of a reliable way to make the rat trigger. Now, yes, we find ourselves back in the station. You might be asking, okay, so what the hell did we even achieve by doing this? We're back where we started. We set the mining drill into a specific position, and we also opened a trapdoor. Now, both of these are accessible from this red crates room, and by now you probably know what that means. Yes, we will have to backtrack, okay? We will have to backtrack here twice. Once to get on top of the mining drill, which is what we are doing right now, and then again, just to reach the trapdoor. But first of all, actually, yeah, let me jump over here. I have talked about a button before, okay, over here. This is purely optional and actually entirely pointless and rather annoying. What it does is it triggers an alarm. This does not cause any additional enemies to spawn, anything like that. It just, you know, might make you panic a little if you are playing this level for the first time. And yeah, what I'm showing you right now is the intended way to get across there without using the Uzi's platform for the little angled shortcut running jump I showed you earlier when we were here. So pick whichever path you feel more confident about. By making backflip, you will jump over this slippery tile. You can climb like this very quickly and efficiently. And yes, we are heading once again into the mining room. And because we have stepped over that specific tile I have showed you earlier, we will find the mining drill in just the right position for us to get across it. And into the beige tunnel over there. Now yeah, these corners are actually, you know, transparent, but don't worry, they're entirely solid. The mining drill is made out of squares after all. It's not a circle. And there we go. This is what we've been after this entire time. Let's take a look. Solomon's Key. I would actually prefer if these things were called the Key of Solomon. I think it sounds way more dramatic. So yeah, you might be wondering, what the hell does this have to do with anything? And you know what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing so far, okay? It will a bit later on, and there are actually 2 of these things which we need to find. Of course, this level has no way of telling you you have to find 2 of these until it's way too late and you have to do some massive backtracking. But thankfully, you have me to tell you. Now, once again, we find ourselves here. We would have dropped into this tile anyway and spawned that red, so I don't think you can really miss it, so don't worry about it. Now, we are once again at the train station, and once again we have to backtrack through here to once again get into the red crates room and reach the trapdoor we opened what feels like ages ago. It was a button in the fire ladders room, you know, a while earlier. We made that huge climb and we managed to set alarm on fire somehow. Okay, and I thought I was so professional showing you. Pfft, the fires don't cover the entire tile, and boom, of course I was set on fire. Oh well, price to pay for arrogance. So yeah, once again you can go there and have a bit of a climb, or you can do it the shorter way I showed you when we originally found the Uzis. Now sometimes I fail this. If I do, it might actually be pretty hilarious. Let's see. Okay, we need to give enough space to Lara for a run-up and also to turn. Good, awesome. It's actually easier than it looks, and from here we can really just grab the platform over here. It's a bit high, so I suggest grabbing jump. And finally we get to uncover where this trapdoor leads to. Now this is actually a very interesting area. The reason is there is a hoodlum over there. What ma... You can climb? I didn't know that. Okay, usually this is a safe spot from which to kill him and his dog, but... Okay, this is a new one. We learn something every time we play this game. Now, of course, I don't want to waste a Desert Eagle shot on the dog over there, so I will instead try to kill him by timing the shotgun. Ooh, plus just right. Okay, this is so much fun, this sort of dog hunt, you know. Okay, in case you do waste, you know, 2 shotgun shells, don't cry too much about it. There is a box over here that should more than compensate. Whew, okay, good. So far we are doing really great on the dog killing business. At least something we are doing great on. I mean, seriously, that pistol shot and 2 large health packs we've used so far are gonna haunt me for the rest of my days. Anyway, what I find interesting about this area is that, well, just imagine these kind of plated door, they probably lead outside, you know, onto the street, and Aldwych is actually part of the busy London Piccadilly line, so just imagine tourists and heavy traffic there in London nightlife just beyond these steel door, you know. It just fascinates me to no end. Use your imagination, that kind of thing. Anyway, the door over here, extremely important to make note of. Burn it into your memory because, oh, we see some goodies behind there. This is actually the 5th secret of the level, and we'll have to do a lot of backtracking to get here. Whereas this door over here, actually we will find ourselves on the other side very soon, is just yet another of the level's shortcuts. Now, considering the amount of backtracking in this level, I do appreciate every single shortcut we get, and we got quite a few by now, but it still doesn't feel enough considering the kind of things we'll have to do. Now what we need to do is make this trapdoor opened. The reason it is closed is that beneath it is this block over here. But you know, by now you have some feel for how the Tomb Raider engine works. It's probably not, you know, some simulation of physics holding it up. It is probably the fact that you need to... Oopsie. You need to place this block on this tile, which serves as a trigger point. We had something like that in the jungle or temple ruins in India, so yeah, that unremarkable tile was a trigger point to trigger the trapdoor, and it's supposed to give you the impression it actually dropped because physics rule. Okay, now which direction were we supposed to go again? Let's go left. I think this is way back. Yes, you heard the door opening, and yet once again we find ourselves over here. Okay, so there's the hoodlum and his dog in that corner of shame over there. So this is a way back, although I have no idea what purpose it serves. We don't really need to go back at this point. And once we will need to go back from this area, it will be somewhere else entirely. So, but, well, there you have it. Oh dear God, let me explain what's going on here. Okay. You know what? I think I will actually, to make it easier to remember, I will actually do something which is not really necessary. Where we are is some kind of underground bank, Chancellor Lane Safe Deposit. Okay, I'm not aware of there ever being any kind of deposits like that in metro stations, but actually this could date to World War II. Aldwych Station was used as a shelter during the bombing of London, and several artworks from the galleries were actually placed in this station. Could be that this is what these vaults were originally used to, you know, to shelter not only people but, you know, national valuables, that kind of thing. Now, yeah, first of all, this will be a bit of a time challenge. We'll be opening these doors and we'll have to sprint into them before they close. Really evil stuff. The thing is, they're also interconnected in a way. So I'm going to show you what's going to happen. Make note of this. This is not a full tile, just a two-dimensional barrier that prevents us from going through it. Now, there are two buttons we can open. There are three vaults we need to get into. This button opens the second and third vault, whereas this button opens the first vault. Now, let me show you what's in the first vault first. Feel free to interrupt the camera angle to save a bit of time, and you should stop running to cut corners, unlike I did. Ooh, okay, just right. So yeah, this area over here is the final vault we have to visit. We don't have to be here now. I just wanted to show you what our objective will be. Our objective will be to monkey swing across, yeah? The problem is with this ceiling grate. We cannot monkey swing with this thing being closed, yeah? Well, actually it is open. We need to close it with a button that's in the second vault. In order to get to the button, we need to open a door that leads to it, and the button to open that door is in the third vault. So now, remember, this button over here opens the second and third vault. There you see them. So we have to make it into the third one. In each vault you trigger something that is important for the next vault, yeah. No, Lara, you... Okay, I had no idea the tile is slippery. This is how evil it is. Of course they put a shallow pool over here to make this as difficult as possible for you. Now, where exactly did we slip? I don't even know. Okay, I apologize. Let me just try this again. Dear God, I'm embarrassing myself over and over in this level. Lara, this is really not good for your public relations department. You need to hire someone else to control you. But you're not paying me anything, so that's what you get. Okay. And let's... Okay, sprint now, perhaps? Okay, cool. We have actually ample time to do this. Now, there is a button and a grate over here. The reason the grate is here is so we can observe what will happen in the second vault when we press the button over here. Yep, we actually heard the sound coming from there. A trapdoor open leading up in the second vault. So we need to get to the second vault. For that purpose, we will use the corridors over here, these sliding chutes. And yeah, you already recognize by textures we were at a different part of this particular place. Whew, nicely timed. Make a note of the box of flares here. They are very easy to miss due to the texture color. And yeah, this is where we slid from the third vault. Back to the buttons. Now we press the same button to open both vaults, but we only need to get to the second one where we open the vault door. So let's do that. Oh, don't worry, the camera is not going to show you anything. It's they are still open. Lara, please. Okay, I think you have enough time. Well, you have, for both of them, you have the same amount of time to get through, so it's a bit easier to get into the second vault. We are on the other side of the grate now. You see the pressed green button over there. In case you did not press it, so you don't end up trapped in here, you can slide down back into the same tunnel. Now. Okay, we heard a sound of something closing, and that was in fact this trapdoor over here. Now, by dropping here we can get into the third vault yet again, but I don't see a reason to do that. Instead, we will close this. If you remember, I showed you the sort of ceiling grate. This will close it. You know, it is not often we try to close things in Tomb Raider games, so when we do, it's pretty damn interesting. This has created a path for us to monkey swing across. And we find ourselves back at the two buttons. We take some minor falling damage that is unfortunately unavoidable because the trapdoor when we enter the second vault behind us closes, so make sure you have some amount of health other than the invisible amount. And sprint, Lara, we don't have much time. Okay, whew, this one stays open for a really short time due to how close it is. Now, we get to monkey swing across, and you might be wondering, okay, what the hell were we trying to do this entire time? Why is this first vault over here so damn important? Well, you've already seen the answer, okay? Shotgun shells, a crystal, which will come in very handy considering our health, and yet another Solomon's key, or to hell with it, I'm gonna call them Keys of Solomon, so much more dramatic. Once again, lovely Tomb Raider 2 theme playing here, meaning something good happened, and then they are both of them. We don't have number 2 next to just one of them because they are unique. There'll be 2 keyholes, but you still need to feed the right one into the right keyhole. The game doesn't tell you which one is right, just like Commander Bishop's and Lieutenant Tuckerman's keys in Crash Site. But you know, 2 keyholes, just use process of elimination when Lara says no. Anyway, yeah, just another empty save box, and yeah, there is a small gap over here you can barely see. This gets especially dark in PS1 version, and especially dark if you are playing it on emulated PS Vita, trust me. Okay, and now we've been on the other side of this door, we find ourselves back at the ticket office. However, there is a new hoodlum over here. Lara, did you really just miss with a shotgun from up close? Wow. I'm not sure if you missed with one of those blasts entirely, or if after one shotgun blast it really just takes 2 Uzi bullets to bring them down. I think I'm gonna have to experiment on another one. Wow, I'm kind of worried to find out what else will go wrong in this playthrough. Anyway, we find ourselves back at the ticket office, and once again we are presented with a choice to go to the right or left station. Thankfully we are for the time being done with the right one, and we can go explore the left one. Now before that, there is yet another reason we find ourselves in the ticket office. Yes, we have an old penny, and we should remember to use it. Now you may be wondering, okay, well, where? There's not a keyhole or anything like that. If you spend enough time, you know, lost here, frustrated, and not knowing where to continue, you will see all these windows have kind of grey vertical lines in the glass paneling inside them. All of them have these vertical lines from both sides, except for this particular panel. This one has some grey square inside of it. I have absolutely no idea what this is supposed to symbolize, but it is different from the others, even if the difference is barely visible. So you put in the old penny to get a ticket. And the ticket is there, yeah. So we are still playing a Tomb Raider game, trust me, even though it doesn't look like it. And we get a lovely ancient ticket. I'm not sure what that icon is there. I used to think it's a train, but, you know, steam trains in Metro makes no sense. I think it's a map of the London Underground network, although I'm not entirely sure. I would have to take a look at what London Underground network looks like. It's been a while since I've been to London, and yeah, I don't exactly remember these things, but saying that, we do get a shot at it over here. There we go. So yeah, those of you perhaps even living in London, you know, make a comparison if this is what it really looks like. Kind of blurry, poor texture quality, but still the shape should somehow resemble reality, perhaps. Anyway, one shotgun blast, and let's see how many Uzis it will take. Not Desert Eagle, Uzis, Lara. Yes, indeed. So this is how much more health they have over those mangy dogs, okay? After one shotgun blast, just 2 bullets from Uzis. You know what? I'm glad I missed that shotgun blast at the guy in the ticket booth office, because at least now I know I will not be using 2 shotgun blasts to bring them down. That is just too much of a waste. And yes, by now you are familiar with these. This is actually a second secret of the level, yet another breakable ventilation grate. All we have here is a box of shotgun shells and a crawl space which leads to nowhere. It's really rather big considering it has 1 pickup and is completely unremarkable, but there you have it. So climb out of it easily, and let's see. Now this is very similar to that train station before. However, if you look at the boards over there, I think the previous one was an eastbound train and this one is westbound train. Feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I do not remember exactly what it said in the first train station. Either way, we have exactly the same kind of hazards here like in the previous one. If you do cross that safe spot, a train will hit you, okay? Now there are a couple of rats over here. We no longer have to resort to using a harpoon on them, even though that was really fun and entertaining and kind of hilarious. However, on the other side over here, we once again have this purple bluish kind of light. It's not green, it's not red. It is just like the light before in that underground tunnel where we had to continue, and that is simply because we do have to continue through the tunnel. Before that, let me show you where the staircase over here leads. And let's have our shotgun ready, perhaps. Because there is one especially evil dog that will run from around the corner. Oh my god. I have never managed to bring the beast down with one shotgun shot. I'm so worried. Oh my god, yes! Look how close it is. From up here it looks like he's far away, but no. He was like 10 centimeters away from us. Okay, good. I've never managed to do this before in my trial run. He always dodged those pellets somehow, so this kind of makes up for me missing that shotgun blast on that hoodlum before. Yeah, where the stairs lead to is a specially destroyed area flooded with water. This is actually intersection of 3 different paths, okay? One from the underwater, one from the little crawl space over there, and one from here. We will find ourselves here, yeah. And this door over here with the crystal, which is not spinning? That's interesting. I have never seen a static crystal before. You know what I think? This is to save some sort of memory for computers back in 90s to perform better. Just like when we backtracked in the river Ganges through the temple area on foot, some of the fires were not lit only once we triggered certain points, probably to save memory. I think this is the same thing with crystals. Maybe this is what they are like when the developers think you do not see them. And when you pass over certain tiles, or maybe even approach them physically by some radius range detection, they will start spinning around. Huh, that's really interesting. You learn something every day. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the intersection and get rid of the dog over there, but yeah, you can also do that later because I said it is an intersection of 3 paths and we will find ourselves there later on. Now, I'm especially worried about this. Let me show you something really interesting, and perhaps let's get our Desert Eagle ready. Feel free to shoot him now. If you do, he will not trigger the train signal. Okay, that was perhaps a bit more cruel. I just keep doing this to myself, don't I? If you do shoot him before, let's see, the green light turn red maybe? No, it will not turn red, really? Anyway, if you... Oh, there we go, right. If you pass over the tile, yet another train will come. Talk about tight schedule. Anyway, what I was trying to say is, if you do shoot that guy soon enough, he will not be able to enter this room, and therefore, he somehow triggers the train signal. He tells it to go green, and suddenly, the train has like the best acceleration ever, instantly skims through the tracks, yeah? So if you kill him, you know, soon enough, he will not be able to summon the train and you'll be relatively safe without this risk. But come on, where's the fun in that? By pressing the button over there, not only you open his hidey hole where there's yet another crystal, but you will open this beautiful ornamental door, okay? Now this is really interesting and seems awfully out of place in a metro station like this, and for a very good reason. Yeah, nothing in the water over here. Look at this. I'm not sure if it's white wood or some gold paneling, but there is some kind of what looks like a graffiti on the door over here, but it's not graffiti, it is actually a golden etching in stone. Now this area, my goodness gracious, this is a very fascinating area. It is a bit of a maze, okay? Now, you might be overwhelmed with all these symbols around the walls. Let me try and explain what's going on here. We are now in an underground maze with a couple of buttons. All of them are labeled with some kind of symbol, okay? We see handshake. We once again see handshake icon. And we see handshake door, okay? We see graffiti door. And yet this button is marked with handshakes, graffiti, and also what I think is a... well, no, I don't actually believe that, but what looks like a bunch of bananas. And there is a graffiti door, banana door, and there are even more buttons behind the handshake door over here. Now, I thought, okay, surely, you know, the button tells you which door it's gonna manipulate, open or close, right? That is correct, alas, these two buttons seem to do something different even though they are both marked by the handshake icon. This is the part which completely and utterly confuses me, so I completely decided to ignore the button at the end of the corridor since this one is closer and it seemed to work fine for me. So now we've triggered the handshake doors, we've opened the area here with just a graffiti button and a banana button. Yet there is another handshake door over here, okay? However, this button also manipulates handshake doors, okay? And graffiti doors and banana doors, yet it doesn't manipulate these handshake doors. This, you know, the game establishes some kind of rules for the doors and the buttons, yet breaks them right after that. This confuses me to no end. Anyway, this is purely optional because there is just a small health pack over here, so you can ignore this if you want. The way we need to continue is actually behind the graffiti door, and if you remember there was also a banana door over there. So what I am going to do is perhaps press the banana switch over here. Okay. And press the, I don't know, graffiti banana switch over here. This should change the relative position of the graffiti door and the banana door to each other. So now the graffiti and banana doors are open. We left the handshake doors alone, therefore they remained open here, and we revealed another small health pack. Now once again through banana door and once again through handshake doors we find MP5 clips. So this is kind of a good order of pressing the buttons that I find this to be. Now, just to recap, yeah, very swiftly, you press the very first button at the entrance just to get through, then you press the button opposite of the entrance with a handshake icon that will just manipulate these two handshake doors. Now, once inside, you will find the handshake door closed, so you press this button which manipulates all the doors except these two special handshake door. I think these should have a fourth icon with a fourth button, but whatever. And therefore you open the door for a small health pack here, and when you press the banana door over here, and again the all three icons door over here, you will be able to continue and reach the second small health pack and the MP5 clip. So that's the sequence I found to work really well. And oh my god, where are we even headed? Relatively modern paintings of undoubtedly rich people. We are entering a Freemasons meeting place. Now, I myself am not knowledgeable on the Freemason subject, but I love the fact that Tomb Raider 3 now, yet again, just like in High Security Compound Area 51 feeds into the majestic UFO aliens conspiracy theory, now we find ourselves with Freemasons having their underground hideout in London. I think I just really love this kind of stuff and mystery in the games. And actually, if you take a look into this area over here, you see there are two chairs like for some judges, and they stare at this globe with the moon inside. I have absolutely no idea what sun above, the moon inside that globe, what significance it's supposed to hold. There is the Holy Trinity, triangle, the ever-seeing guy, that kind of thing, you know, the religious aspect of this sect. What I'm more interested in than Holy Trinity are the Uzi clips and the safe or health crystal over here, but be very careful when making the cross, as there are breakaway tiles, most of which, not all of which, contain spikes, okay? You can just take it, of course, through the safe route over here, but mind the, yet again, ornate door over here. We will open them soon. There are two keyholes over here, yet another breakaway tile, yes, all leading to spikes, but they're not covered in blood, you know, so I guess that means they were never really impaled anyone. And yet another piece of breakaway tiles. However, you can just pass through the curtain over here using the breakaway tiles. Maybe you can see it, maybe not, but there are a couple of MP5 clips clipping through that delicious looking star. Oh my god. Okay, so this object is called an ornate star, and the reason it is so secret, even though this did not trigger secret or anything like that, is that this is an optional key item used to open the third secret of the level, which will actually be quite soon enough. But I just find this star to look like some delicious box of chocolate or something like that. And you can just follow here. There are no spikes in this gap over here, so feel free to climb out. Yeah. So yeah, if you are confused, that's good, because you really should be. There's not a whole lot of stuff making sense around here, but I guess, you know, the fact that the candles are lit means that the Freemasons had a meeting here quite recently. Okay, seems I selected the right one. Usually I hit the wrong one and Lara says no. What happened is that one of the swords was dropped and the block above us keeps rotating and spinning. Why? I have no idea. And let's enter the next one. The door to the left of us is closed, but after this it will open, along with the door blocked by two swords. Huh. Why is it spinning? I have no idea. However, let's leave this bit alone for the time being, because this is actually the exit from this meeting place, this tribunal, this conference hall. I don't know, walkthroughs refer to it as a temple. Depends how religious these guys are. I really have absolutely no idea. Careful, there is a prize inside, however, that is indeed a breakaway. Ooh, tile, good. You can of course just make a grabbing jump or running jump, whatever. I just didn't want to trigger them yet. And what we have here is a Masonic mallet. Oh dear God. So now you know for sure that these are Freemasons here indeed. However, not just Freemasons, but a rabid dog as well. Good, nicely timed. So yeah, there are spikes down there. Be extremely careful. It's very vicious. I'm not sure if the spikes are there intentionally or as a result of this place crumbling, but I would say it's intentional. I mean, this place is kept in a good order. So yeah, Masonic mallet. We need this sort of sacred treasure, this object, to open a rusty old padlock in middle of nowhere. Later on in the level. Yeah, that's kind of really disappointing after this fascinating area we've been through, but there you have it. Okay, so now I've talked about the doors being open, so let's pick up our box of flares and yet another small health pack. Okay. And down we go into some disgusting, dirty, oily, toxic, radioactive sludge. I don't even want to think about what Lara has to go through to keep her eyes open in this. I mean, think about the eye infection she's gonna get. Actually, don't think about it. Why would you think about it? Anyway, let's just keep on swimming through the tunnel over here. As you can see, there is an ornate door over here as well. This also opened as the result of us inserting both keys of Solomon. Now, if you surface here, you will find yourself in a very familiar looking area, right? Lara, why are you picking up flare that you've just dropped? Wow, that was just really strange. Now, it might not look familiar yet, but just give me a second. Does it look familiar now? Yes, these are indeed the stairs where we've encountered one of those rabid dogs, those beasts. There he still is. Okay, so this leads to the second train station. This is one of the pathways. This is an intersection too, okay? Now there is also the door on our left, and there is a crawl space in the corner over there. You probably cannot see it from here, but patience please. I will show you in the greatest of details what I mean. Okay, do not underestimate the distance actually. I always tend to, and I end up not grabbing this thing and dropping down into the dirty sludge down over there. Alas, you cannot shimmy because of the piece of iron fence down there. You do have to crawl to get across, which is extremely annoying, and I would hate to repeat this process, but I don't know, I don't think we'll have to. I hope so. This is, by the way, actually my second attempt at recording this level. I have actually already recorded this successfully and made a save file at the beginning of the next level. If you see down here, Lad's Gate. Oh, sorry, bit of a spoiler. But yeah, then I realized, since I have a new microphone, my sound, the positioning was bad. My sound was completely messed up, so it was an hour and a half of work just down the drain. Very discouraging. But I have also made a mistake of not redeeming our old penny for a ticket when I reached this point, and I had to do a lot of backtracking, so I guess it's for the better. Okay, but at the same time I managed not to use any health packs, which I would managed if it wouldn't be for those two accidents. Okay, enough wallowing in self-pity. Let's get across here and have our Uzis ready, because there are a couple of unfriendly rodents we need to take care of. Oh, I love this shot how Lara is aiming with her Uzis. Okay, another one. And there we go. Now the rodents, being the clever bastards they are, they can get through the turnstile over here. But Lara cannot, not even by a crawl. This is just a... how would I put it? Very mundane kind of obstacle. Now, this is Lara Croft we're talking about, okay? I know she's the sort of person that she'll visit an ancient ruin, an old temple. She will follow the paths to the letter. She will trigger and complete all the traps and challenges set before her, instead to just put a stick of dynamite underneath some ornate door and taking the shortcut, okay? Yes, she is that sort of person, you know? She has respect for ancient civilizations and what remains. But a bloody turnstile, really? This is why we had to get a maintenance key to turn the lights on, to pick up the old penny, to backtrack into the ticket office, to redeem the coin for this ticket in one of those ticket booths, to get an old ticket, to get all the way over here, all because of this turnstile. And we are free to go. Lara, you deserve a pat on the back. Wow. Whew. Yeah, so this is kind of I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still enjoyable, but it just feels so out of place. Oh, okay. Maybe I should stop being so free with using our Desert Eagle shots. But last time I passed through here, we were standing here and the guy was just, you know, minding his business in that corner over there, not being aware of us, and I was hoping we would get the same kind of shot at him, but apparently not. Anyway, now that I think about it, look at Lara. She looks so professional. She has this black catsuit, her, you know, trademark gloves, and on top of that, black MP5, Uzi in her left holster, and the Desert Eagle in her right holster. I mean, if I would be, you know, back in the early 1990s and watching some screenshots of pre-release version of Tomb Raider 3 in some magazine somewhere, and, you know, I couldn't wait for the game to be released and come out, and I would see this screenshot, I would be worried, oh my god, Lara, what happened to your pistols? Will there be no pistols in the next game? I really love how this feels. This gives you really a sense of progression, like, we've came a long way since we had these, you know, in our holsters. Anyways, let's put the Ornate Star here. You actually have to be in the middle of the door. Yes, you are supposed to figure out that this is where the Ornate Star belongs. Ooh, that was close. Don't want to be set on fire. Okay, so shotgun Uzi combo. We haven't had that before, but I'll be using it on these guys, I guess. Yeah, so this is how small the Ornate Star actually is. You are supposed to figure out that it belongs next to what we in the tomb raiding business call Ornate Circle. And yes, at least the reward is nice, because this is a third secret. Unlike the ticket office, where the maintenance key was, there is no large health pack, no key item to be had here. Just a fireplace made out of the old metro signs. Oh my god. Those are actually interesting relics of old times. I feel sorry they use them as a fuel, but... oh well, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Anyway, the real secret is, you know, finding the way up here, that you can actually climb into this maintenance tunnel, or ventilation grid, or whatever the hell it's supposed to be. And once you're here, we will find ourselves on another side of the door we inspected not so long ago. Let me show you. Okay, you already caught a glimpse of green light. That is because there is indeed a crystal over here. Now this is the crystal that, as you can see now, it's floating in the air and it's animated and almighty and beautiful. Before it was just static when we peered at it through the window. And this is once again the intersection, yeah? So there's the path leading to the station, path leading to the third secret, there is the underground tunnel to the Freemasons temple, and then there's the crawl space to the turnstile that was originally blocked. Alas, this also means we have to yet again crawl through here, which I'm really not fond of, but there you have it. Enough of complaints. Let the knowledge that you won't have to do this again warm your heart. Okay? Unless... I now wonder, could we have used the... I wonder if we could have used the secret entrance into the ticket booth as a way back, you know, after collecting the crystal. Yeah, it could also work, but there was also a crawl space in the maintenance tunnel, so I guess it's really a take your pick, you know, kind of thing. Instead, I'll just go over here to show you this area, that this is where we are indeed yet again. Okay, no more rats to pester us, but what we are going to find when we go further on is something similar to the ticket booth over here that we had to use an Ornate Star to unlock. we have to use another priceless artifact to unlock another completely ordinary plastic door. Yeah, by the way, there is a huge heap of mud on this side of the escalator, but there is really nothing on top of it. It's completely unremarkable. No objects, no goodies, no pickups to be had there. Yeah, again, we know he's watching us. Who the hell is he? Really looks like some kind of Nazi soldier. Really creepy. Could actually make sense if this is a reference to the times of when London was bombed by Germans in the Second World War. But really, this metro station was closed off in 1994. Surely they wouldn't still have these posters around. I really don't know. Anyway, priceless artifact. We went through many dangers to get to push this rusty lock aside in the most mundane, unspectacular fashion imaginable. Now, this door over here, well, holds a control room which possesses a button. Trapdoor leading into something red. Yeah, that doesn't really tell us much, but I will explain in a short while, of course. First, really easily missable. I mean, how the hell are you supposed to think to look up here? I truly do not know, but there is indeed a rocket. This level is actually extremely generous when it comes to rockets, because, yes, we only found the second one, however, there'll be still 2 more to go in this level. We never had this many rockets in any single level before, and that is absolutely amazing. Okay, and actually, no, I'm just gonna use the Uzis. I want to keep that shotgun shot for one particularly nasty dog. As you can see, it doesn't take much to bring these guys down. Once again, they drop a small health pack, and where we find ourselves now, this should be very familiar. This is the ramp. This is where we observe the train passing beneath us. This is the ramp leading to the very first train station. What a nostalgia. Ah, remember the 3 times we were there? And the underground tunnel there? Yeah, all the good stuff. So now, we have yet another shortcut unlocked. If you remember, when we were back here on the other side of the door, I mentioned this is very close to the level exit, and I mean it. So we are actually approaching the level exit, but first, let's be really careful. There is yet another vicious evil mongrel. Oh my god, how did you survive that, you bastard? Oh my god. I'm so scared, not only of the dog, but of that shotgun blast. So this is kind of like the situation in the stairway leading to the second train station from the collapsed room with the underwater passage that we just crawled through not long ago, where the third secret led as well. So that dog on the stairway over there is also cutting corners, meaning he's dodging most of your pellets from that shotgun blast. So yeah, this is how evil these things can get, okay? Now, I don't think we've really used MP5 yet. Oh, once again, you can test your range on the hoodlum over there. He put his club on fire, because of the fireplace over there. But yeah, we haven't really used it other than to break the first ventilation grate, so maybe let's snipe him completely safe like that. But yeah, you have ample space to actually get rid of him before he even reaches you. That dog was a real threat. Okay, so make a note of the box of flares on top of this beautiful vintage red train car. This actually holds a significance. We'll use this to get across, I think, 3 times still in this level, so that's pretty impressive. There is also a health crystal over here. I'm not sure if the hoodlum... Yes, of course he did. They always drop small health packs. Well, not always. There were plenty that didn't, but many that did. Another vintage boards being set on fire. A tunnel infested with bats. Actually, they really fit the setting over here. However, you get a bit of a reward for wading through all this filth. And that is a combined pickup. Let's light up a flare to show you. A large health pack and shotgun shells, which is very good, considering our shotgun shell ammunition. Yes, Lara, we do get a boob shot, but we are kind of trying to get out. Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, so now the question is, how the hell do we get inside the train car, yeah? Now, if you remember, in the tunnel over there, where we had that really traumatizing encounter with that vicious dog, we jumped over a gap, you know, and your tomb raiding instinct might tell you, okay, let's stay away from that place, there are definitely some spikes or just something plain evil down there. No, actually, there is a warm light coming from there, yellow light. It's like it's telling you, follow me, follow me. What we find over here is actually, well, we find ourselves beneath the train tracks, or we are kind of supposed to think that. I don't think that leads into the same train we've seen above, although that's supposed to symbolize that. But I'm not sure the level design is that pinpoint perfect. There are two trapdoors over here, okay? We'll be using both in due time. First, this one, both actually lead into the train car, okay? But this one leads into the rear area of it. Don't worry, there are no hoodlums in here, no dogs. That would be a really vicious encounter in this tight space. You have just time to enjoy and admire the vintage red wood, the lights, the wooden benches. I mean, this is really great, so rustic, so... I just love this kind of stuff, okay? Makes me think of some Art Deco times. And this is the other trapdoor, okay? I was talking about beneath which we were just a while ago. However, with the press of a button, we not only close the door behind us, unable to go back, but also this trapdoor over here ends up opening. Now we think, okay, so we'll just end up where we were just a while ago. No, this is a different area, although so far it looks very similar. As you can see, this wasn't here before. We use the same trapdoor, but to reach different part of the level. The train car has now moved. I think what's actually happening is just like in the coastal village in the Temple of the Light, we just find ourselves in different part of the level, room, map, or whatever. Or maybe the map just suddenly instantly changes, you know. The engine can handle that, there are such triggers. But anyway, story-wise, we've moved the train car to actually reach the level exit. Yes, but we still have some unfinished business before we do exit the level, indeed. What we see here is yet another trapdoor, yeah, leading into the rear part of the train car. But how would I explain? I mean, the train car is suddenly stretched really thin. There's one over there and one over there. But okay, can be, hard to say. We'll open it in due time. But first of all, yes, we are not alone here. You can shoot this guy, you know, very quickly, but make sure to give him ample time to summon some backup, because that ends up opening the door over there, although try not to be set on fire like I almost did. This opens, well, yeah, summons a buddy yet again and opens a door, okay? This reminds me of the high security compound and 51 area situations. You know, you don't know when you are rewarded for killing an enemy first, very quickly, and you don't know when you are punished for killing an enemy very quickly. I wish the game would have a better way of telling you. Anyway, we find a secret room with a rocket, the third one so far, and 2 buttons. Mind you, this is not a secret itself yet, okay? We still have only 4 of them found. Now this is the trapdoor we inspected just a while ago, leading back into the train, because the original one we used to enter we can no longer use. And this button, now this is the interesting stuff. Does that look familiar? Perhaps yes, perhaps not. What that leads to is the metro exit with the steel blinds that I thought, okay, maybe they lead to the street and busy traffic outside. Be careful, this is slippery. If you make one tiny step, you will find yourself in the next level, which, you know, might be what you're after at this stage. If, however, you do want to find that 5th secret, yeah, that was his hidey hole, candle, apparently, which he used to light his club. And, oh yeah, there is another level exit here. You can actually choose which one you want to use, but this one holds a small health pack, and actually, it is not slippery until the very ledge, okay? Actually, let's see what's in the bottom now, and I hope I will not fall down, because I'll just have to, you know, repeat the whole level again. So that's what the level exit looks like, okay? I would, you know, safety drop to inspect it and explore it from a bigger detail, shorter distance, but alas, that would trigger the next level. We don't want that just yet. So, instead, let's climb back into the train. Okay. And yeah, so it is the same train car. Yet again, this wooden door has now opened. The passengers are all seated. We can press the button and carry ourselves across. Whoa, yet again the door opens behind us, so we cannot use the very original trapdoor, but we can use this one that we've inspected, that was right next to it. Now this should look familiar. This leads into the yellow light crawl space room. So now we move the train car. Now the entire point of getting back was, well, the button that allows us to get back holds the same button that opens the 5th secret, yeah? So, saying that, let's get to the 5th secret. Now, by now you probably need some memory refresh on how the bloody hell even to reach it. Thankfully this ramp, this original shortcut I showed you at the very beginning of the level, has the purpose of leading you safely to the 5th secret. Ah, light is green suddenly. I remember it being red before, okay. But when you approach they will turn red. Once again, I think this is the 4th time we are backtracking through the red crates room. To be honest, I'm a wee bit sick of it at this point. Anyway, we will use the red crates room to... Lara... How the hell? I thought roll gives you just enough distance to make the perfect run-up. But apparently not on this crate. Okay, so once again I will use the Uzi's platform shorty cut to get across what I consider to be a swifter manner, because even just to reach the trapdoor over there, which leads to metro exit, we need to climb that ladder using the normal way. So let me use the abnormal way. Okay. Well, that is a very... I was about to say that is a very good angle, but apparently not anymore. Okay, Lara. Okay. Oh, that pivoting was really difficult there, but thankfully it was sufficient. Oh, don't need to grab. Awesome. Good to know for future reference. And now we climb up. Yes, indeed. And there we are. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5th secret. We get our hands on MP5 clips. Let me light up a flare here. Oh, my goodness. Amazing. Actually, let me just use the buttons here. Because we also get our hands on a hoodlum who dropped a large health pack right next to the rocket over there. We also get our hands on Desert Eagle clips. If the large health pack falls next to the rocket, Lara will pick both of them up with one sexy movement. And a button. The button is nothing special, it just reopens the trapdoor once again into the red train to allow us to go back to the level exit. Now, saying that, we should have 28 kills by now. Awesome. Because there is one final enemy that will spawn right here as you are leaving the level exit. Ah, let's just use Uzis. It's been a while. Come on, where are you? Huh. Okay, that's mighty strange. Okay, that is really strange. Maybe one of these tiles triggered him? Huh. Consider me officially puzzled. This tile was supposed to... Well, there was supposed to be a hoodlum attacking us. Maybe it's this tile that triggers it. Yeah, we haven't actually stepped on it. Let's just step on everything in the secret and see what happens. Okay, we left the secret. Kind sir, yes, there you are. So you have to enter the dark corner in the 5th secret in order to trigger his appearance. That is just so weird. Really, just, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Okay, now, what we need to do here is return to the first train station, so we might as well, yes, yet again, go through the red crates room. And yes, once again on top of the mining drill, okay? Just bear with me, it's not gonna be long now. The mining drill is safely secured in place, you don't have to worry about it just dropping under Lara's weight or something. Ouchies, that wouldn't end very well for her. Yeah, so, yeah, this level, as you can see, there is some really ingenious level design here. At the same time, it seems like the developers realized, oh wait, they need to backtrack for this, don't they? Oh well, tough luck. It's like they left many gaps in the overall basing of the level, and it just feels very awkward to retrace things over and over and over and over again. I mean, this was literally the 5th time we were in the red crates room, you know, just to get back from the 5th secret to the first train station. And now that we are here, we can use the ramp as it was originally intended and go up And through the door over here. Once again, we have to drop into the pit. Oh, there it is, okay. Crawl through to reach the trapdoor over there, and oh my god, I wonder how long I've been recording for. Actually, let me check the level time. Okay, so this is the longest level so far. There are now no doubts about it. Okay, let me see. I'm sure it could be finished a bit quicker with all my commentaries and some unnecessary exploration, but really, where's the fun in that? Okay. And with the press of a button, we cause a massive earthquake. We just get a train car moving, and we get once again into the level exit area. Now, if you remember, there were 2 level exits, and we get to take our pick. I'm thinking of going with the one where we'll slide. I mean, there's just something about sliding down chutes in London levels. I mean, remember the end of Thames Wharf on top of St. Paul's Cathedral? We already picked up the small health pack at the first possible level exit, so let's go via the second and see what happens next.
So, you must be after Miss Lee then?
Business, not pleasure.
Though obviously not for revenge, man. You've hardly got the face for that.
And you have?
How moronic a question is that, eh? I don't even have a face, man. I came down here looking for work, and what do I get, eh? But Miss Lee's cosmetic company and her lab assistant job. No experience necessary. Good wage, accommodation with it. Aye, locked in a flotation tank for days on end in some fetid syrup. And when we come out, because lots of us applied like, no face or flesh, man. And a bootin' doing the waste disposal shoot here. Presumed deed.
Some kind of failed experiment then?
Oh, ta, very much. But aye, and for added insult, when I tried to take my own life, I found it just didn't work.
You mean Sophia's testing some sort of immortality power? Along with her own brand of facelift?
Why, aye, man. Everlasting beauty. She's obviously not fully worked it out yet, but she takes the best results for herself. See, I don't care what your business with her is. You can't be any more shiftless than what she is. So I'm gonna go out of my way to help you. That is, after you've done something for us here, like.
Very generous of you. What do you want?
A bottle of that mummy preservation stuff from the Natural History Museum.
Embalming fluid?
Aye, for rotten flesh you can't whack it, man. The museum's pretty interesting, I'm told. You'll like it.
So why don't you go yourself?
One of them Egyptian lassies there is a bit pissed off, like, that she didn't get immortality the way she wanted it. And seeing as we've done better than her in that department, I didn't care to imagine what curse we could get given any worse than what we've got already, like. You'll be fine though, pet. You die easily.
Thanks.
So that's their secret. All these hoodlums, they were the scientific experiments of the Lay Cosmetic Company. And yeah, some of the results, of course, were not ideal, as we've seen especially on the poor dogs over there. Now, their leader in particular apparently doesn't have a face. Perhaps all of them are lacking their faces because their mouths were covered, that kind of thing. However, what I don't understand is how the hell can he speak, although his ability to speak was somewhat weird. I cannot place that accent anywhere. What could it have been? Once again, people in Tomb Raider cutscenes are very difficult to understand. But yeah, there you have it. And now he was asking us for an embalming fluid to keep the rot away. So apparently he was unable to commit a suicide or something like that, even though we just, put bullets through his bodies. But I'm sure an incineration would work or anything like that. These guys are not immortal, they will eventually rot away, but yeah, that's still a horrible way to go. But still, yeah, at least some way to go, I guess, in this condition, that's always good. Anyway, so we'll be infiltrating the museum in the next level, the Lud's Gate, name that you might have seen on my save file. And, oh dear god, that is one vicious level. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be as long as Aldwych, but it is going to be one of the longest levels in the game, nevertheless. And somehow, after providing this gang leader with the embalming fluid, he will help Lara to get into the Lake Company, since as a former, well, employee test subject, he knows the way how to reach it. So, we have found all 59 items, we have killed all 29 enemies, and we have found all 5 secrets. Now, our accuracy has suffered somewhat. After all, we've used Uzis, which, you know, really are not doing us any favors in terms of accuracy. And we've shot a ventilation grate and missed one pellet shot, well, shotgun blast at the dog. Alas, due to me messing around with hotkeys, we have also used a large health pack. I thought the game somehow prefers small health packs over large ones, but no, the hotkey is assigned to the large one. I have no idea what kind of silly decision that was, but there you go. And yeah, there was also this one accidental pistol shot from Lara whilst I was holding the control key, so that explains accuracy. Nevertheless, I do hope you've enjoyed watching this level. As I said, it really feels like a point-and-click adventure in terms of explorations, backtracking, finding key items, applying the key items on different parts of the level. And yeah, I wish the level would make more sense and the Freemasons Illuminati conspiracy part would be explored in a bigger detail, but still, a nice touch. I really enjoyed the atmosphere, so thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time in Let's Gate.